Musical memories, songs that will last. Musical memories, songs from above. Musical memories, songs of God's love. I'm all wrong. I'll be satisfied as long as I walk. Let me walk close to thee. Welcome to Musical Memories. We have guests today. I'm sure you quickly recognized. I'm Martha Reed Garvin, and this is Musical Memories, songs that we just love to sing. Just love to sing. And as you see, we have very, very special guests. These are the Burchfields from Nashville. Welcome, Jonathan and Benji, to Musical Memories. You know, it's been a long time that I've been talking to these. It's okay to call you kids. I just made your day, didn't I?
Yeah, really.
I've been talking to I've known the Burchfields for so long. I'm not going to even go into how long I've known you. They were singer sewing machine high when I first met them, really. And these wonderful musicians. I've been talking to them, telling them about you. And I said, you know, you would enjoy hearing them, right? I know you will, because you will love their music. They're from Nashville, and they finally got in the studio with me today. And I'm just going to let you play, and we'll talk a little bit later. Do I see on our gospel medley?
Gospel medley.
You will love their songs. It's our kind of songs. They won't mind if you sing along with them. So the gospel medley, Jonathan and Benji Burchfield. Clap. I just want to do something when you're doing all that.
You.
Now you understand why I wanted you to hear the Burchfields. This is somewhat of a different kind of program. Usually it's just you and me around the piano singing these blessed old songs. But as I said to you, when I heard them, and they do our kind of songs, I knew that you would want to hear them and enjoy it, or maybe sing along with them. Now I know you boys, men, travel continually, don't you? Don't you?
Yes, full time doing concerts.
And that's wonderful. You're available if they would like to have you.
Absolutely.
You're really non-denominational. You'll go into any church.
Right.
You
right.
believe that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior,
Right.
but you go into any church, and
Absolutely.
we'll do a concert. And any church is fortunate to have them. They'll go in and. Do we have their, I have their phone number in case you want to call Benji or Jonathan, and the number is 1-65883-6545. 4 too. We'll give it a little later, so get your paper and pencil down because I know you'll want to hear them. Aren't they just wonderful? I just get such a bang because I knew them when they were little tiny. I want to just be a bit reflective, boys. I can remember when I was a young bride. That's been quite a few years ago, 40. And we were invited to my in-laws' house for Sunday dinner because the Burchfield family were coming. And Mom and Dad, Mildred and Riley Burchfield, came. These kids have parents who literally were missionaries here in the United States, I always think, gave their life to take the gospel to Appalachia, is that right to say? Right. A little tiny valley, Happy Valley. And the Burchfields were coming, and so George and I went. We didn't have any children at the time. And we went to my in-laws for dinner, and the Burchfields came in with 5 little kids, stair steps.
Absolutely. And, you know, Mother and Dad would travel around from church to church, playing and singing.
Yes.
And that's a big reason why we're doing this, because we're following in the path our parents taught us when we were really young. Dad played some guitar, Mother played keyboard.
Yes.
We're pretty much patterned after what they did, so we're so thankful to be raised in a Christian home.
Yes.
And be influenced by not only the gospel, but by the music.
Yes.
So.
And so gifted. You can't deny that even though your parents gave you wonderful training, you can't deny a wonderful gift that God gave you. And I know you guys travel continually. Is there anything, any instance or happening that in your travels that you would think, or stories that you could tell us about of unusual things?
There are so many. I think of one so recently. We were traveling in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and a wonderful thing happened there that we were able to see. We were first told the story about 100 years ago. Some nuns felt called by the Lord to go to Santa Fe and be missionaries there, and to teach in a school and do mission work. But the trip they made was a horribly hard trip. They came up the Mississippi River by steamboat.
Yes.
Many of them died along the way. They caught cholera. And then from there, they took a wagon train.
Isn't that amazing?
Many more died because of those parched, dry deserts they had to cross. By the time they got to Santa Fe, there were 4 of them left.
Oh, my.
Now, most of them had perished, but those 4 stayed loyal to the calling they felt they received from God to do mission work, and they built a little school. But then the time came when they could build a beautiful chapel. As the years passed, and they built a wonderful chapel, and they called it the Loretto Chapel. Now, it was designed by a French architect, and when it was completed, all the village people came out to see it. But as they were looking at the beautiful carvings of angels and of Jesus and Mary, they began to look around, and they saw a tragic mistake. And that was up in the choir loft. There's a very high choir loft. They realized there was no way to get there. No, there's no way for the choir to get up.
No.
And how could we have forgotten that? Well, they called in the carpenters. They said, we need a stairway here. And they looked and they said, it's impossible. There's no place to put it. So they brought in some architects. They said, it's true. There is no way you can build a stairway. What you're going to have to do is tear down this beautiful chapel and start over.
Oh, no.
Well, that would have been heartbreaking.
Sure.
And not to mention they couldn't have afforded that. They prayed for a miracle.
A miracle.
They knew they needed a miracle.
Yes.
They prayed for 7 days. And on the 7th day, this old man arrived with white hair on a mule. And he said, I will build you a stairway. And they told him, it's impossible. But he said, I can build it. So they left him alone. When he had finished, they came to see what he had done. And they looked at this absolutely magnificent staircase. It wound its way up 33 steps. And they looked at it, and all the village people came out. And they said, it's beautiful, but they noticed something. There's no support.
No.
You're supposed to put up a vertical beam and then wrap a stairway around it. But there was no vertical beam. They said, the first person who steps on this, it's going to come crashing down to the floor. Finally, somebody stepped on it, and then another, and then another, and it didn't break. They filled all 33 steps, and it kept its strength, and they thought, this is a miracle. So they went to pay this old man, but he was nowhere to be found. He disappeared. They thought, well, at least we'll go to the lumber yard, and we'll pay for the wood. And they went there, and they said, no such person has ever been here to buy any wood. And there's no place you can get wood in this desert. Today, as we look at this beautiful winding staircase, we notice some interesting things. This man didn't use any nails anywhere. And number two, he only had a hammer, a saw, and a T-square, yet it is carved perfectly, and the most precision instruments or tools could never have carved it as perfectly as it is carved. But what else is interesting is wood experts today look at this wood and they say it's unidentifiable. They have no idea where this wood came from or what kind of wood it is. They needed a miracle. These nuns prayed for a miracle, and God poured his light on them and gave them the miracle they needed.
I'm so glad you shared that story, and we got to see the staircase. Isn't it magnificent? Did you enjoy that? That reminds me of a song. Will you do it with me?
Oh, I'd love to.
It took a miracle. My Father is omnipotent, and that you can't deny, a God of might and miracles, 'tis written in the sky. It took a miracle to put the stars in place. It took a miracle to hang the world in space. But when he saved my soul, cleansed and made me whole, it took a miracle of love and grace. Sing with me, a grace, grace, John. Grace, grace, God's grace, grace that will pardon and cleanse within. Grace, grace, God's grace, grace that is greater than all our sins. I'm so tempted to continue to do that, but I want to hear you guys play a little more. Do I see? We have somewhat of a schedule. My Jesus, I love thee. Could you go right into that? as much as I have. Aren't they wonderful? Kind of brought us closer to Jesus Christ today, didn't it? I think so. I want to talk just a little bit, Jonathan, about your CDs, because you perhaps would like some, or do you have cassettes for people my age, too?
There are CDs, cassettes, but no 8-tracks.
Okay. They have CDs. Tell us a little bit about them. Basically songs that we did today on Musical Memories. Do you have some, or tell us?
The latest CD we have is called Walk in the Forest, and that is old gospel songs that we love doing, many that we grew up with, but there's a little bit of nature mixed in with these.
That sounds good.
So there's everything from a very fast type of old gospel song to a very reflective and slow, beautiful type. So there's a very dynamic array of styles.
And you will promise to come back sometime, won't you?
I would love to.
You know, they don't have to listen, but you know, we kind of go on a shoestring, and they've just met me here in the studio and donated their time so we could enjoy their music. And so drop them a note or drop me a note. The cassettes and CDs are available. And, I see you see a picture of them. That you have 3, even a Christmas one. Well, you know, Christmas music is wonderful all year round, and make sure you drop them a note, or you notice their phone number, 615-883-6542. And I repeat, if you kind of forget that and forget to write it down, you do know my box office, 907 Oak Park, Illinois, 60303. I thank you very, very much for being here and meeting me. And I said when the program began, I've been months trying to get them into the studio. These guys are so busy. And I said to them, sometime when you're close to the studio, please let me know, and I will meet you. And that's what's happened today. I know you have loved it as much as I have. I told them as we were trying to, we did have somewhat of a plan. I would like to be somewhat reflective as we go out today. And Jonathan quickly said to me, how about softly and tenderly? And so for the rest of our time together, I want us just to do, they'll do some, I'll do some, maybe we'll sing along a little. So until the next time that it'll be you and me, they'll be back in Nashville, or they'll be in Santa Fe, or they'll be in San Francisco, somewhere, but it'll be you and me around the piano, singing these blessed old gospel songs that I like to call musical memories. I'm Martha Reed Garvin, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys, for coming.
Thank you.
Softly and tenderly, Jesus is calling for you and for me. See on the portals, he's watching and waiting for you and for me. Sing with me. Come home, come home. You are weary, come home. Earnestly, tenderly, Jesus is calling, oh sinner, come home. You take the melody. Beautiful. tender